pasa, familia? ¿Cómo estamos? Bienvenidos un día más a Drafteados. Bienvenidos al canal, que sabéis que es vuestra casa NBA. ¡Bim! Vaya fin de semana tenemos por delante preparado para vosotros, mientras José y yo estamos descansando un poco, ¿no?
Sí.
Ha sido un par de semanas de mucho trabajo y hoy os traemos la entrevista completa
Sí.
que le hicimos al señor Gary Payton.
En primicia y en exclusiva, ¿no?
Tú esto, o sea, ya perdemos un poco el norte, ¿no? Porque Paul Pierce, ¿no? En el canal, ¿no? Tal.
Pero es una barbaridad esto.
Pero Gary Payton, tío.
Sí, sí. Muchas gracias a Pierre y Sergio por darnos la oportunidad de charlar un ratito con este fenómeno, que nos lo pasamos genial.
Sí.
Nos cayó estupendamente y nos contó cositas guapas.
Sí, sí.
Y nada, os dejamos ahí con ello, ¿no?
Los que estuvisteis en el Drafteados Day visteis una parte de la
Sí.
entrevista, metimos 5 minutos de la entrevista, pero vais a ver que tenemos muchas más cosas aquí en la entrevista completa. Gary Payton, en Drafteados.
Le preguntamos, cuando grabamos eso, si su hijo tenía opciones de ganar el anillo. La serie en ese momento...
2-1 Boston iba. Después del tercer
Y
partido.
ya veréis lo que dice.
Vamos para allá.
So, we are here with the man, the legend, Mr. Gary Payton. Gary, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for your time. We are Drafteados, a Spanish channel. We are talking about NBA every day in our YouTube channel. And for us, it's a big pleasure to have you here. How is going everything in Spain?
Spain is good. I mean, the last couple of days has been great. You know, got a lot of rest. You know what I'm saying? Dinners has been good. And, you know, I'm just having a relaxed time. It's real fun. I like Spain a lot.
How many interviews have you done in the past couple of days?
Not that many. We try to keep it. We're around 7 or 8, but it's good.
Not so much.
Not so much.
I think it's a new Guinness record of interviews in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, but you know, I got 4 more days, so 3 or 4 more days. So you know, we don't know what's gonna go happen there, but it's good. It's been really mellow and kick back. So days are not been really strenuous. I think the next 2 days probably will be bigger than what it is, but I'm ready for it. It's no problem.
You look ready. We wanted to do something a little bit more different. We will air this on draft night.
Okay.
So we wanted to ask you a couple of things about your draft night. How do you remember draft night? Were you nervous at all?
No, not really. I wasn't really nervous on draft night because I really knew where I was going to go. You know, I knew I was going to go either number 1 or number 2. It wasn't really that really nerve-wracking because the simple fact is all you want to do is hear your name go. You want to know which team you're going to go to. I didn't want to go to the New Jersey Nets. I wanted to go to the Seattle Supersonics at the 2nd pick.
So
I was just hoping that the Nets didn't pick me at number 1.
Wow. So you didn't want to go number 1.
I didn't want to go number 1 because that wasn't the team that I wanted to go to. I wanted to stay on the West Coast with Seattle. I was a Northwestern guy.
Yeah.
I went to school at Oregon State. Seattle was right there on the Northwest, and Seattle had been recruiting me for the last 2 years. They were, you know, they had really flopped to get into the lottery, and they got into the lottery, and then they lucked up and got the 2nd pick. So I was accustomed to their team. So and there are people that was on their team because they were at all my games a lot. So I was really looking forward to going there.
Sometimes it's better to be number 2 than number 1.
Well, in my class, I'm the only Hall of Famer in my class. So I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty good with that. So, you know, it was pretty good. But, you know, Darren Coleman, who went number 1, me and him are really great friends, you know, and even Dennis Scott, who was in that draft. We're still good friends. So, you know, 3 of the guys in that draft was pretty good with me. So 2 of the guys in the draft was good. So I'm happy with where I went.
When you were selected, then you go to Seattle, you have your first couple of games. Did you feel like a lot of pressure or not?
Well, you know, I was coming in late and I had held out.
Mm-hmm.
So I had missed a lot. I had missed a lot of things in the season and in our workouts and in our offense. And I didn't know the offense. Instead of going to training camp, I didn't come in until 1 or 2 days before training camp was over. And we were about to start preseason and the game. So I was behind on a lot of things. So, yeah, it was kind of frustrating for me because I didn't know anything. You know, I didn't know the system. I didn't know the players. I didn't know no one. So it was frustrating in that way. As in nervous or anything like that. No, my game was already there. I just had to understand what to do. But it was a struggle for my first 2 years because I didn't know how hard it was or tough it was to know how to work out, get better, and not just take your talent for granted and see that there was better guys on the floor than I was. And it wasn't like college.
Yeah. So you were the number 2 pick, then you go, you said the first couple of years were hard for you. What would be your advice now for a Chet Holmgren, a Jabari Smith that's going to get picked number 1, number 2, number 3, and they're going to get in the league? What would be your advice for the first couple of years to those guys?
Well, that's kind of hard because it's a different generation. Our generation was really different. When I came in, I had about 8 or 9 veterans on my basketball team that had been in the NBA for almost 7 or 8 more years. These guys who are getting drafted now, they're number 1 pick, and then last year they probably had somebody on their team that was number 2 or number 3 pick. Yeah. So they're young. So you got to look forward to, like the guys that are going to get drafted now, they're not used to losing. They're going to lose because they're going to be on a team that is a losing team. That's why they're there. You know what I'm saying? So they have to just get in there and work hard and hope that they can be a centerpiece, that it can work around them and say, yo, we're all going to get better together. And that's the main thing to do. Go in there and work at your game. But the game nowadays is so loose. It's so loose. It's shooting threes. It's always fast running. You're doing things like that. And big men are posting and popping. They don't post too much. You know, you don't see a big man like Shaquille, a big man like David Robinson or Akeem Olajuwon. You don't see people like that anymore. So you are open game. And I think these kids that are coming out now play that way because that's the way the game is played. So it'll be a little bit more looser, more free form. I think they'll get a little bit more leadway to get into their career a little bit better.
Nice. I think it's very interesting that you were selected in the 2nd pick and your son was undrafted. So what do you think is the biggest difference between a career of a player who's selected in the 2nd pick and one who's undrafted? What do you think is the biggest difference?
The biggest difference is that when you get drafted, you get more opportunities. You get more chances. You know what I'm saying? They don't cut you. They won't let you go early. And a person that's getting undrafted, that means they have to work harder. They have to beat out that draft person. They have to beat out this person on the team. So it makes their chances a little slimmer unless you go in there and be very, very good. You know what I'm saying? And the coaches are not going to give you opportunity. They're not going to say, let's take this undrafted guy over this guy that's drafted. Even if you get drafted, you're going to get a chance because they took a chance on a pick to get you. And now they're going to give you multiple chances to stay that way, where they're going to put you to the G League and then they're going to bring you up. You know, with my son, you go into the G League, it's not promised that you're going to come up because you're not drafted by a basketball team. So they get more opportunities than an undrafted player do, unless that undrafted player goes to somebody and just say, well, forget it. Somebody missed on him. Now let's give him a chance and let's do what we have to do to make him better and make him good for our basketball team. And that's the difference.
Who made you the T-shirt that you were wearing the other day with your son defending you? Who made that T-shirt?
Well, it was a company that we're dealing with right now.
All right.
They, a lot of companies want to come with me with a lot of different T-shirts and a lot of ideas. This company came with a great idea. It was a great idea.
That was a good one, yeah.
It was a good idea. Yeah. And now they went viral. They're unlimited shirts now. Everybody's selling out on them. So it's a good thing. So, it's good for my son and myself. It's a business deal that we can make. And then, it's something that'll help him, matter of fact.
Entrepreneur family we have here.
Yes.
This will air, like we told you, when the NBA finals are over. So the people that are watching us know the result of the NBA finals.
Okay.
Now your son has a ring or not?
You know what? I hope so. But the way it is looking right now, it's not looking good. I don't think they're playing defense well. I don't think they're rebounding the basketball well. I think it's a lot of right now, they're not on the same page. I think their team is not on the same page, and they're not playing very good. A bad game 3 was a horrible game 3. I hope they can come back and play in game 4 a little bit better. But as it look right now, they got to work on a lot of things. I think the main 3 things that they need to work on is turnovers, rebounding the basketball, and one-on-one division, defending the ball. Because a lot of Brown, Smart, Tatum, they're penetrating and taking advantage of their athletic ability and size on a lot of the Warrior players. And I hope, but we don't know what happened. But this Boston team has found a nick, and they got a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, tough team, this Boston team. We're gonna go with rapid fire questions now. Okay, so the first thing that pops to mind. But first, I wanted to ask you if you have given your son some advice on what it takes to be a champion.
You know what? I leave him alone. It's a difference with a father who with my caliber and with my status. Kids don't like to listen to that because the simple fact is I've been his father and I've been telling him to go wash dishes, take out the garbage, do this. They're tired of all of that. So then when you come and say about basketball and how I figure and how I look at the game, because I'll sit at games and I think it should be the way I play the game. But I can't do that. I can't say the way I play the game because he's not me.
It's different.
So it's really different. So I'm a lot frustrated when I think he should be doing things that I think I could have done on the court. So I leave it alone and I let him be him. He can be himself. And all I do is if he asks questions, I just tell him to just play hard, do it the best you can do, and see how it works out.
That's a great dad advice that we did not expect today. But great dad advice.
Learning a lot today, not only about basketball. We have a rapid fire here. So the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? The first one is, where is your championship ring?
It's in a safe. And then that's where it is. I don't wear rings, so it's good.
Next one, Marcus Smart, who just won Defensive Player of the Year, or Gary Payton?
Gary Payton.
All right.
Who is the player, most difficult player to stop in the history of the game?
In the history of the game, I would say Will Chamberlain.
Wow. Okay. The best era in basketball?
Of course, mine, 90.
90s basketball.
Best place to go party?
Best place to go party, Miami.
Okay, we have to go.
All right. Will the Sonics be back?
Yes.
All right.
LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
Neither. No, I'll say both.
Gary Payton.
I can't say either one. I'll say both. I'll pick both of them.
All right. And the last question is draft night today. So who would you pick with the #1 overall pick if you had that first pick today that the Magic had?
That's hard because I don't know. Teams are different and what they need, different things that they need on their thing. It's 2 great players out there that is pretty good, and I don't know what I would go with because I'm not a general manager or a president, and I'm not with that team. So that's very hard for me to determine of what we need. You know what I'm saying? What we need better. Do we need a big stretch man? Or do we need a power forward that's good? Or do we need a guard? So that's very hard for me. It's hard for me to say.
And that's why it's very difficult to select from players. It's not for Gary Payton, always for general managers too. Gary, thank you very much for your time, man. It was a pleasure.
That was awesome.
Have fun
Thank you.
in Malaga.
Yeah.
We recommend you to go to the beach, to eat some rice, have some wine, go party.
Done had the rice, done had the wine, and I need a party in the beach. That's what I need.
And we go with you.
Nos vemos. Nos vemos, familia.